Mark DeVecchio,
Well,
and say
you.
one of the best at what he does. I'll tell you that much.
I look forward to hearing your voice on Thursdays as well.
All right. So now, are we going to solo it because it went so well last time? We're almost.
We are.
It's
not
almost
going
like
solo.
if we have. Maybe we should just ask the rest of the lawyers to leave because it went so well last week. But I don't want to hurt their feelings. You understand that?
Oh
Mark?
no, we have your second favorite lawyer here. Your second favorite, the great James Melfi.
Yes, Mr. Melfi. I'm doing well. Speak up nice, loud, and clear, Melfi. It sounds like you're tired already. It's only Thursday.
Well, my wife's FaceTiming me currently, so I.
Doesn't
Well,
she
tell
know
her
you
you're
do
busy.
A radio show on Thursdays at 5 o'clock.
She's 7 months pregnant. I mean,
I think you should take that FaceTime, and I'll cover for you.
Yeah. Hey, Melfi, can I tell you something? Here's a piece of advice. Are you ready for it, Melfi?
Yeah, tell me, Ron.
Get cable, all right? I mean, do you have a TV in the bedroom? Get some cable TV up there. You hear me?
Yeah, 3 TVs. Yeah, the YouTube TV, every app you can think of. I think I'm double paying for some of them.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Jimmy, start watching them, okay?
To be young
she
again, Ron.
He said,
he
sent me a picture. He said, call Daddy. Look at him.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless him. Look, God bless him.
So now she's 7 months pregnant?
With a little girl. So
Really?
We'll be boy and
Do you
a
have
girl.
names?
We do. I don't know if I
You
say
want
it
to
on
divulge them?
Yeah,
I got it.
I don't think she'd be pleased.
No, I'd get you right in hot water.
I've
Well,
been
you
in
know
hot
what?
water for a long time.
If it's a girl, why don't you name her that the same name as that new girl lawyer at the firm that I can never
Tally.
remember what her first
Tally.
name is. Yeah. I can never remember that. Tally. But anyway, congratulations.
Yeah,
in all
thank you, Ron.
seriousness, man.
Just
There's
remember
nothing
when you
more
add up
rewarding.
the points at the end of a game, you're tallying up the points. That's how I remember tallying up the points.
All right. But, in all seriousness, congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
really,
you.
really happy for you. There isn't anything better in life than 2 kids. And in all sincerity, I hope you have many more because it's the most rewarding part of your life. I think
I concur.
you'll find that to be the case.
1000%.
So have it.
If my
Yeah.
wife wants more,
Have
I'll
it.
oblige her.
Right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, that's fantastic. I couldn't be happier for you. And, and the good thing is you guys are in town. So the grandparents are there to help you, when it comes to babysitting or getting the night out and that kind of stuff. You have the, it's not like you're in another town where you don't have your parents around.
No, we live in it's like a compound. It's like the Corleone compound. My in-laws are down the street, so are my parents, so is my sister, and so is my wife's twin. So it's a full house typically every day at my house.
So
Right.
there's not too many secrets in that neighborhood, huh?
There's no secrets.
You know what? It's wonderful when it comes to having babies and children, though, is it not? Because
it's the best. It is the
I
best.
mean, because you have the grandparents are there to say, okay, we'll watch them, or you guys have a night out or go see a movie or something along those lines. Because one of the big problems is that the cost of daycare is just so expensive. Now, I feel like $1,200 a month for one child.
My friends are paying in Columbus or Cleveland. It's outrageous.
Really? Maybe we should get into daycare.
Like $1,200 a week.
Yeah.
In daycare
Yeah.
costs.
Yeah,
I'd like to
it is
advertise right
absolutely
here. Mark
insane.
DeVecchio's daycare is going to be opening up here in the next month or two.
It's music class the entire time.
That's right. I'll play guitar and sing.
He'll be singing right to sleep. All those kids will be sound asleep probably by 10:30.
Right.
And when he does lullabies like no one else can do. All right. Well, anyway, congratulations. So 7 months, so a couple more months, and you'll be a proud poppy again. I couldn't be happier for you. How old is your son?
My son turned 2 in May.
Yeah,
And,
excellent.
he's a rascal.
That's when the fun starts. When
it's the
get
best.
2, 3, 4. There's so much fun.
Yeah.
Mommy, Daddy's home. I am home.
Ah,
That kills me though when he does that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's terrific. Well, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? And all right, so Attorney James Melfi with us, Attorney Mark DeVecchio with us, and we couldn't be happier. The dynamic duo. So we're glad you're back. Let's see what I got here. You're on the Legal Show. Hello there.
Hi.
Yeah. What's your question?
So I had a question. I have parental custodianship of my one oldest son. His father is so far back in child support So is there any possibility of like maybe going to court and I would get granted full custodianship and his rights would be terminated?
They're not going to terminate his rights because parental rights and support and companionship they're all kind of separate issues, but they will find him in contempt. If he's violating a court order, he will be found in contempt of court. He will be ordered to bring his child support current, or he will go to jail. In a contempt finding, the first time you're found in contempt, you serve 3 days. Second time, 10 days. Third time, you could serve up to 30 days. And also, they go through times where they'll suspend their license if their arrearage is significant. And if their arrearage rises to felony non-support, they might go to prison. So, child support is not something that the courts take lightly.
All right, go ahead. Don't listen to the radio. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So with him, he's like $30,000 back in child support. He's already has his license suspended, and he's not afraid of jail time. So that would just basically be like a vacation to him. So I wanted to know if there was anything else I could do other than obviously putting him in jail, which I mean that would be satisfying in itself. But
Well, hang on. Pause for just a minute. Pause. Right. Pause for a minute. Were you married to him?
no.
All right. So this is one child you're talking about?
Yes.
How old is the child?
12.
12. All right. And does this guy have a job?
He won't get a job because he doesn't want to pay child support.
All right.
Wow.
So, okay. Well,
Yeah, winner like that, right?
I mean, I don't mean to pick on you, but I sit here and I think, well, whatever attracted you to that loser in the first place, just my opinion. But
In the very beginning, he did work, and now he doesn't want to work.
because he doesn't want to pay child support, so he would rather his own child starve, or he doesn't have money
And
to
he
put
would
gas in
rather
his
live
car.
a life on handouts and relying on other people and not trying to do the best he can to provide a life for himself and his child. He would rather take that coward's way out. Now understand, our system is designed for people that play by the rules and that don't want to go to jail, and they don't want to get their license suspended, and they don't want their children to suffer. So, the people that are just bad people, I'm just going to say that if you don't want to support your child, you're just a bad person. You're obligated morally, ethically, legally. We have to support our children. And if someone doesn't, then you just hope karma comes into play, because he can't be living a good life if his whole existence is predicated on not paying child support. I'm not going to work. I'm not going to do this because I don't want to pay child support for my child. It's disgusting. And he should spend a lot of time in jail, frankly. Until he decides to get a job and pay, he should stay in jail and get released only upon a guarantee that he's going to start paying support.
Here's a question, Mark. Okay, so he's not paying support. What should she do? Go back to the Child Support Bureau? How does she get the ball rolling to make him?
Well, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. The only remedy she has is contempt. And if he keeps being found in contempt, he's going to spend a lot of time in jail. He's going to have his license suspended. And if he's found in contempt a certain number of times and that arrearage continues to grow, then maybe they might decide to prosecute him. And non-support can rise to a felony level. So now he's not going to go to jail for 30 days. He'll go to prison for 5 or 6 years. Trust me, it happens. I've represented people sentenced to prison for not paying support.
So what are you going to do, caller? I mean, what have you done anything to this point in time? Yes or no?
Yes, I've contacted the child support agency, and they are in the process of trying to serve him with contempt papers, but he won't update his address. So I have the address that he was recently at like 4 or 5 years ago, but that's the most we can do.
So they can't find him.
Yeah, because he's trying to say that he doesn't live at that address, even though I have seen him at that address, and he's been there at that address for 8, 9, 10 years.
The unfortunate thing for you, is that in order for you to really go after this guy, you are going to need some assets yourself. You could pay a process server to track this guy down and get him served with contempt. Once he's served with contempt, you cannot bury your head in the sand. If he doesn't show up in court, they'll issue a warrant for his arrest, and they'll hold him in jail until he goes to the hearing. So unfortunately, you have to spend money to go after this guy. You have to, you have
For the
to
sake
help
of
yourself.
your child, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and it's not even the fact of me going after for the money because I could care less. I've been raising him for 12 years on my own, like, you know, me taking care of him as a good mom. But other than that, like, I'm not going after the fact of the money. I'm just wanting him to recognize his consequences that he gets for not taking care of a child that he
Does he
helped make.
does he visit at all?
No, won't visit, won't nothing.
Right. Okay. So
Now that being said, all right, you did
that might be a good thing, Mark, that if
Yeah.
he doesn't pay support, he's not visiting either.
Well,
Might be good.
She could do this. I mean, if he fails to contact the child, fails to pay support, fails to attempt to contact the child for 1 year, you could have your significant other adopt the child. So they will terminate
Okay.
his rights, but that's done in probate court. So if you
Okay.
typically, if you had a husband, or you know, you would have to be married to have your husband adopt this child, but you were married and you wanted to get permission to have your husband adopt this child. If this guy, the natural father, does not pay support or contact the child for a year, you don't have to serve him. You don't have to. You just you
Okay.
send out notification, and he really has no standing to block it. So that's how you would terminate his parental rights. But you need someone that is able to step into the shoes and assume the responsibilities of a father, and that would be the person that you're married to.
Yeah, God. I
Okay,
hope.
so on another aspect of that, then my husband's incarcerated. Is he able to legally adopt him being incarcerated, or does he have to wait till he gets out to adopt him?
Now, can I ask you another question before he answers that? I got to ask you
Yeah.
this question. At any point, have you questioned the guys that you're selecting the dates? I mean,
I
the first guy, the child is not paying support, and your second, the guy you're married to, is incarcerated.
there seems to be a
I have questioned myself on that.
I mean, one guy fathered a child, he's not seeing a child or paying it, and the guy that you're married to is in jail. What's he in jail for?
He got in trouble for the wrong place at the wrong time.
What does that mean? He stuck a place up or something? I mean, what did he do?
No, he was just with a crowd of people, and they all got in trouble. And he, just because he was with them, he got in trouble too.
Right, but he went to prison. He's in jail.
Yes,
How long did he
How
get?
long?
he's got like 4 more years.
Oh, is that all?
Oh,
Okay.
well, yeah, it's tough being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I
That's
mean-
a lot of years for that.
I mean, so something had to happen at that wrong place to get that kind of prison sentence. I mean,
Yeah, the friend he was with beat somebody up with a gun, and just because he was there with and he can't prove that he didn't do nothing, that
right,
he got in trouble.
right.
What?
I mean, really, I would really try another website if I'm looking for a boyfriend.
Yeah, I'd change your type.
I'm not looking for nothing.
Right.
I'm
Smart.
just trying to figure out what to do with the whole situation with my son's father.
I really.
Well, you do have
Oh,
recourse,
boy.
but you might have to spend some money to do it.
Okay.
Okay,
Good
you.
luck.
thank you.
Boy, I hate hearing that,
How
Ron.
about-
I hate hearing that. When
Yeah.
someone it affects their lives so significantly. They won't get a job. They go into hiding. They duck service. Their whole existence is predicated on not paying child support. That's the worst kind of a person I could imagine.
I find it so offensive because that is your child that you created. That's your DNA.
I agree.
And you know, when you were a kid, somebody took care of you and fed you, and you can't be a man enough to take care of the child that you brought into this world. I have absolutely zero respect for that. But I really do think she should maybe question her abilities on selecting partners. Let me put it that way. Just an idea.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
based
because
on that little sample size of information that we got, yeah, I think you're right, Ron.
I mean, it's just it's sad. In a child support bureau, if you could touch on it for a minute, Mark, when you go down and say he's not paying support, are they aggressive in trying to serve these guys? I mean, do they actually do anything?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I mean, they will go after people for failure to pay support. They have lawyers that work for them. They will bring you to court on contempt. They will ask that you get put in jail. The problem is, I mean, they're overworked because there are so many people with support obligations, and they're, the Mahoney County Child Support Enforcement Agency only has so many lawyers that work for it. So I think they're a little understaffed and overworked. That's my personal opinion, but the people there work really hard, and they do care. I believe they do care.
Yeah, we still deal with them. I mean, when you have a personal injury case, we get a notice from child support if you owe it, and you have to pay it out of the settlement.
Yeah, or they'll block the settlement.
They'll
right.
block the settlement. Yeah.
So yes, they
Doesn't
do.
that
But
also happen if you get a tax refund? Doesn't that
absolutely,
snagged as well, Mark?
absolutely. If you have a child support arrearage, you are not going to get your federal tax refund or your state tax refund. It will be intercepted by the Child Support Enforcement Agency. They have long arms, and if you have money coming in and you owe money in child support, they're going to find a way to get it. Very few of those cases where there's money to be had slip through the cracks. Now, the ones that do slip through the cracks are the bad actors. The people that are just bad people that don't have any money coming in that you could account for. It's not 1099 or W-2'd. They don't file taxes because they don't make any money, and they live, sponging off other people. So those cases are tough to get anything. You can't get blood from a rock.
Yeah, it's a crime. It really.
It actually is a crime, and you could go to jail, but you have to be persistent. And eventually, I've had some cases where I've been very satisfied with when somebody gets sentenced to jail and it's a long-term jail term. And when they're in jail, I get a call from a lawyer saying, what could we do to get this guy out early? And, that's when that's poetic justice there.
It's kind of a mixed bag, though, and I don't know if it's the case. I mean, I know over the years, you would see a lot of guys that basically with child support and, well, you got to live the lifestyle you would have if the marriage was intact. And basically, by the time that was all done, I don't want to say they were broke, but I mean, they were not doing so well on their own personal survival and finances because of all the child support money that would be taken from them as well. That was sometimes just ridiculously off the charts too much. I mean, so there were many times I felt bad for responsible fathers who I thought often got the shaft in the court.
Well, understand this. Nobody is given special attention. I mean, your support obligation is based off of the household income. What does the obligor, who's the person that pays child support, what does he earn? And what does the obligee, the person that receives child support, what does that person earn? And I don't want to say he or she because an obligor and obligee is not defined by their gender. But it's a scale. It's a mathematic formula. So I don't take offense to it because it's not whatever guy that you say is paying too much money. Anyone in his circumstances is paying the exact same thing. Nobody's being singled out.
Does that get adjusted if they lose their job or they retire?
Great question. If they lose their job through no fault of their own, then it'll get adjusted. If they do something to get fired, it will not get adjusted. You'll be imputed at whatever income you were earning when you did whatever you did wrong to get fired. Now, if your income is changed through no fault of your own, whereby your income is reduced and it will result in a modification of child support by more than 10%, the court will change it if you file the appropriate motion. Now, you said something very interesting, and you said, do you still have to pay child support if you retire? Well, I mean, if you're 67 years old and you still have a child under 18, I would think where there's a duty to support, you have to continue to work. So I don't know, because a retirement is a voluntary act. So if you voluntarily retire, they're going to say you're not getting out of child support.
In other words, what the amount would be based on pre-retirement income.
Whatever you've shown the ability to earn, you will be imputed at that number, and you're going to continue to pay. But child support is not, it's not endless. It doesn't happen forever. You pay until they're 18 or graduate high school, whichever is later.
How many guys, though, have you heard that pay child support that say, but she's not spending it on the child, or she's spending it on herself? Yeah,
at least half. And I've had a guy come in my office and say, I want custody of my child. And I figure here's a good chance to get to know this guy. Tell me why you want custody of your child. He said, because I don't want to give that, a penny. And I said, I'm not your lawyer. I want to do what's best for kids. And just because you don't want to give the mother a penny, maybe you should find another lawyer, because I didn't take that case. So, I mean, I
Right.
think if we have children, we have an obligation to support them.
Absolutely. All right. So stay tuned. Segment 1 done. Segment 2 ahead. Phone numbers coming up. Stay tuned.
iHeartRadio brings you Global Citizen.
So it's a chance for you to call and ask whatever legal situation or question you might have to our attorneys tonight. So don't let the cat get your tongue. With 3 lines available for you, we'll get you on the air tonight. 330-729-9595. 9977. That's 330-729-9977. Once again, 330-729-9977. We'll get you through to our legal show on News Radio 570 WQBN. So pick up the phone, give us a call. I got two of the best guys around to answer your questions. 330-729-9977. From a domestic standpoint, you won't find anybody more informed or better than attorney Mark DeVecchio. And of course, one of the great legal minds and litigators and father to be. I put you in both categories.
I appreciate
attorney
that.
James Melfi. You know what I mean? So, and and I heard that last caller. I just thought to myself, you know what, Melfi, you're a good father because you and your wife don't have those problems, and that's the way it's supposed to be, right?
That is the way it's supposed to be.
Right. You know what I mean? And it's like, the great thing is you did your prison time before you got married, right, Jim? Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Yeah. Okay. Anything I can do. You're on the air with our attorneys. Hello there.
Yes, gentlemen. I'm not divorced or nothing. Just a comment that it's amazing in 2025 that you can just hand a check. A father can hand a check, or a mother can hand a check to a father, and there's no checks or balances. I would think every quarter or something you would have to give receipts for like tennis shoes, clothing, food, etc. Now there had to be a percentage of miscellaneous, but I just can't believe it. In 2025, we're just handing a check over to a mother or dad that may be deadbeat, and she could go and buy her drugs or whatever. It's just amazing that they don't have to give receipts every quarterly. And like I said, not to the dime, but
Right, but you're saying it's a fair question.
All right, let me address the question. That's what the Child Support Enforcement Agency does. That's why they're there. They keep track of every payment. They monitor. The court issues the order. They'll tell you what your child support obligation is going to be based on your income, based on the number of children in your household income. You pay it through
accountability from the person who gets the check and how they're spending the money. That's what he wants accountability.
Well, because there's a presumption that the court is going to do what's in the best interest of the children. If the parent that is receiving support is buying drugs, then you have an obligation to protect your children and remove custody of those children from that person. And that's how you remedy that. That's how you fix that. So there's a presumption.
Like I said, I have no teeth in the game. I'm happily married. I'm just saying, let's say it's that person's weekend to have the kid, and the kid comes in, he has holes in his shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Ron.
Well, if he has,
listen, I got to tell you, Mark, I'm 100% with this guy. He's really saying if I'm paying, I'm sorry, I lost you, guy. He's saying if I pay all this money, can't you at least show me a receipt of, okay, this is the food bill and this is what a percentage goes to the kid. This is the clothes I bought and this is what electric costs. Some justification to the guy writing a check.
Okay. Understand there's a presumption that if you're paying child support, it's going to the child. If it's not going to the child and the child's being neglected, then you go back to court and you remove those children from the situation. I mean, it's very easy. You don't have to have a to the penny accounting. You just know if your children are doing well or if they're not. And if they're not doing well, then get them out of the situation where they're not doing well and provide for them yourself. Take custody of them and provide for them. Because if that's in their best interest, the court's going to rule in your favor and protect the best interests of children. So, and the mother doesn't have to do an accounting of what child support is being, or not the mother, the obligee does not have to do an accounting of what she spends or he spends the child support money on, because there's a presumption by way of a trickle-down effect, whether you use child support to pay your utilities, whether you use it to pay a portion of your mortgage, whether you use it to put gas in the car, the children derive a benefit from that. And that's why you don't have to do an accounting, because how do you break it down? Well, I filled up my tank. I put $50 in the tank, but I drove my children back and forth to school 3 times this week. What dollar amount do you affix on that? So you can't. You can't micromanage it. There's a presumption it's being spent for the children. If the children are neglected, then get the children in a better environment. Simple as that. Be a parent.
Wow. Okay.
Be a parent. I love
He's on
that.
fire tonight. There he is.
He's wound up.
DeVecchio.
Mark is wound up.
Well, no, I mean, I understand you, Ron, you got the guy's back. You want to defend him, but you got to understand How do you break down what the child support's being used for when you're paying so many bills? You're paying utilities, you're paying a mortgage, you're paying for water, you're paying trash. If your children live with you, they get the benefit of that.
I was just trying to represent it from the guy's side, but I'm giving up because that was a total slam dunk.
He just
Mark,
put you in the dirt,
I mean,
Ron.
Boy, did he ever.
Yeah, I mean, he just puts you in the dirt.
His argument, I don't even have a comeback to, Melfi, and I was waiting for you to chime in a little bit.
Listen,
Hug
when,
me out there, Melfi.
there's nothing I can do to.
Listen, he has one child, 2 years old, and one on the way. All his money goes to those children. Trust me,
Yeah.
I know.
Well, trust me, I was using Melfi as my co-counsel. All right, Mark? When
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing the nursery this weekend, so that'll be a fun experience.
Yes.
There you go. You're on the air tonight with our attorneys. Hello there.
Yes, I'm calling in regards to my mother-in-law.
Yes, sir.
She passed away 3 weeks ago, and she purchased a headstone in '95, and we're trying to get that installed. And we went to the cemetery, and first they told us they no longer do headstones or that type of thing anymore. And so we came back and told her that this was all paid for in '95. And she approved a plan to have the headstone made. And now they're telling us the third time we went there, they told us that all the 3 surviving family members have to be there to approve the headstone to be made.
That makes
And,
sense.
You know, we told her that this has already been approved by her and paid for by her. We just want it made and installed.
Pre-planning. Yeah, she did all her pre-planning. Right.
Right, correct. And now
Sounds-
they're trying to say that, well, they can't do that. They're going to have to make a new one or alter it or something like that.
Well, I think, caller, do they want like the flat kind so it's easier to mow the cemetery as opposed to the kind that stand up? Is that what
Correct,
they're
yeah.
telling you? Is that
Yes.
it? All right. And when
That's
you go
it.
back to the headstone people, they're not willing to do that?
No, they're saying that all 3 members have to be there, but she's already signed off, and they agreed to the type of what she wanted done on the headstone, and they're just saying that all and her one sister is estranged from the family. She has nothing to do with the family. You try to call her, and she just cusses you out and hangs up.
Well, do you have any of the
Can't get her
purchase
involved
documents?
in it to get that headstone going, and we don't know where to go or what to do with this.
Do you have the contract that you signed? Any purchase documents? Anything in writing?
Yes, we have the documents. We have several of those saying where she signed it. She's got all the receipts, and we got one from them saying that. Well, I have one letter that says if we don't hear from you by a certain date, that we will proceed with the making of this memorial. And then she came in and paid for it in full, which it should have been done at that time. And then, but now we go in and they're giving us a runaround. Basically, is what we're thinking they're doing.
Well, is it because that they don't allow stand up headstones anymore and they want it in ground headstone?
No.
So it's no change in policy.
It's the type that's in yeah, it's in the ground, and that's the area she's in. That's what she wants, the one that's in the ground. It's not a stand up.
Okay, so she paid for that already. I'm confused. Then what's the conflict? What's the problem?
Well, they're saying because we took the paperwork in and it has the inscription on there and everything that she wants, and then but they're saying that they can't do that no longer. That they have to make a new one or a different type of a stone, different type of inscription.
Okay,
And,
what they carve on the stone, if you will, they can't do the
Right.
design,
Right, because they didn't have the
right?
dates and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Give me my money back, or
Yeah, well, she wanted
Make
a
it.
Bible with praying hands and roses, and they say they can't do that now, and they've got to make a new one, a different. They got some kind of program on.
All right. So let me ask you a question. And you can't go to the new one unless you get all of these 3 people to agree to the new one. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. They're
That's
saying they
crazy.
can't make it without all 3 surviving family members there to approve it.
And
Well-
We can't get the one to go over there and participate with it. You know,
this is crazy, Mark. Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah, that is wild.
it is.
I would say, I would seek legal help. I would send a letter to the estranged sibling saying that either, you send us something where you're waiving your right to participate in this decision. I would drop a waiver form saying I waive my right to participate in this decision. I'd have her sign it and get it notarized. And then I get the siblings that get along
I have a
to go there and say,
I have a feeling if she answers the phone
She
and
won't-
cusses you out,
she
she's
ain't
not
gonna-
going to
She
sign
won't even
anything.
do. She's not going to do that. She'll just throw it in the garbage.
Is there an estate open?
Yeah. Well, elder
No.
estate or file
she's
for some
passed.
kind of
Everything's
declarative
closed
judgment against the Tombstone
I'd say
Company.
give me
and
my
then-
money back or make a stone.
Yeah, but who are they going to give the money back to? The lady's deceased.
Well, if there's an estate open, it would go back to the
Yeah,
estate.
put it in the estate.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there an estate
Well,
open,
they-
caller?
Pardon?
Is there an estate open with probate court?
No, there was no estate.
Mm.
She didn't have nothing. It's just she prepaid everything, and
What a
my wife
nightmare.
my wife is handling everything. She handled everything for her, took care of her all through the years, and now this has come up this was the final thing to get done, and when we went over to make sure the stone was going to be placed, this is what they told us and what we're going through.
You
They
know
can't
what?
Just make do and not, without everybody approving something, get something close.
No, she, we have her and her brother's been there and already talked to him. He's not happy about it either.
Right.
But we can't get the other sister to.
Boy, Mark,
you know,
I think you might be right. They need a lawyer, don't they?
Yeah, I would send a letter to the company that they had an agreement with that they're paid for the tombstone, the headstone, and now they're saying that we don't make that kind anymore. I don't think any of that matters. I think that's their problem. You paid for it. You have a receipt. You have a contract. They're bound. So a lawyer may say, listen, that's not a problem for my clients. That's a problem for you. They paid you. They
Right.
have a contract. You have to fulfill your obligation.
Did you hear what Attorney DeVecchio just said to you? Because that makes sense
Yes.
to me.
Yes. Yeah. I always mentioned that to him too. I
Well,
told
you
him,
need
I
a
said,
lawyer.
let's go.
You
Yeah,
better get a lawyer to represent you on it.
And
so
then
we
I'd
can
ask
put
for
this to rest.
if we had to sue him, I'd sue him, and I would want the original purchase price plus interest plus penalties plus. I mean, I would go at it hard. I would try to whatever it costs. We'd try to make it worth your while to get as much out of that as you could.
Now, is that
Yeah,
something
they
you
keep
guys would
tacking it
do?
on until they say uncle.
Yeah.
You know what? If you want to call the office and ask for me, I'll take the pertinent information and I'll send a letter on your behalf to see what I could do to help you out.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
That's Attorney Mark DeVecchio. All right. Beatrice
you.
County.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. We'll do that.
Thank you. And if his letter doesn't work, I'll turn you over to Attorney James Melfi, one of the best.
Thanks, Ron.
You had that coming after you really beat the living snot out of me up with your argument. I had no comeback to that at all. That was really good, DeVecchio.
Well, it's true. It's not.
I
I mean,
know,
I'm
I
just
know.
citing the truth.
I know, but I mean, when you can put an argument out where there's no comeback,
Yeah,
you know you're good at what you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Ron.
You're on the air with our attorneys tonight. Hello there.
Hi. So I have a child support question, and so I was never married. We were together 20 years or so. Technically, we still live together, own the house outright, but the dad will pay the gas and the electric, but contribute absolutely nothing towards the kid. And so, like, halfway through the month after, I run out of money, I'll be like, okay, I need $100, to do my car insurance now. And, I get yelled at
Well,
for that.
that sounds like a relationship issue. If you're living together, that sounds like a relationship issue.
Technically, he lives in the garage. It's just circumstances. We can't separate.
Well,
But,
what you need to do is whatever county you're in, you go to that juvenile court in that county, and you could actually call the county's child support enforcement agency. You don't even need your own private lawyer. Now, let me preface that by saying what I said earlier. They're understaffed and overworked. So you're not going to get immediate satisfaction when you call them, but they will eventually get round to filing something on your behalf to commence child support. If you want to retain independent counsel, then you pay a lawyer to file a motion. Has paternity ever been established between the child and this man?
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, legally, has it been established through court?
Court, I guess not. No.
Okay, so no, it's never been legally established. If he's on the birth certificate, that's a presumption or a suggestion, but it's not a legal finding. He does not have a paternity established until he goes to court and establishes paternity. So you should
Good
file.
question. Is he on a birth certificate? Ma'am?
Yeah.
All right. And you,
Yeah.
Mark, can you make the boat? You're rocking the boat. I mean, they still live together and he still contributes something and he lives in the garage.
I think getting him served could be pretty easy though.
Yeah,
You
he,
know, we're separate, but we're separated. We just
well,
cohabitate.
yeah, but if he's
Like, I mean,
paying,
he literally doesn't even contribute food.
Right.
So
Does he eat in the house with you guys?
no, he's completely separate.
but you said he pays
He-
utilities, right?
everything's
Is he paying
completely separate.
utilities? Is he paying utilities in your house?
Yeah, he's paying the gas and the electric.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that creates an interesting argument. He could say, I am supporting this child. If I were you, I'd rather do it by the book. I think people are afraid to go to court. And I say, listen, these court orders, they're like insurance. Nobody wants to pay for insurance, but when you need it, you're so happy you have it. So I say, it's not because you're starting a fight. You're doing the right thing by your child and by both of the parents to go to court, get your rights established, file a complaint for paternity, file a request for support. Instead of him paying the bills, have him pay child support, and then you could pay some bills out of it. At least you'll have a record. Okay?
Is your garage
One-
heated?
It is, yeah. I like it cold, so he's happy over there.
All right.
But one question though, because I did say, okay, then I'll go try and get child support, and he's like, I'll quit my job.
Oh, he's one of those.
Another
guys.
one.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? You could make his life absolutely miserable because he's
And let's
captive.
be
He lives
fair.
with
Or a
you.
victim.
He could make her life miserable.
That's true.
I
Well, it
mean,
sounds like he kind of already is.
Yeah, maybe just turn the thermostat down to like 55,
You know,
60.
does he make any money or not? Is he a bum?
Yeah, he makes double what I do.
All right. And
I'm
he
fascinated
lives
by
in the
this right
garage.
now.
I mean, is this a garage you'd pull your car into or is it a finished garage?
He lives up. The cars are in there, but the upstairs is
Okay.
like a loft.
Oh, separate place to live. Okay.
Yeah.
And so like he can bring, if he finds any.
How old's your child?
Over to his house.
How many
I'm
children?
14.
14? Well, you only have about 4 years
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
Plus, there's also
just-
the benefit that he's there. I mean, with the child, at least
He's not. No, he's not. He's absolutely no.
he doesn't
no
interact with
relationship.
he doesn't interact with
Nope.
the child at all, even though he lives on the property.
he lives in the garage.
Very rarely.
I'm going
Oh
to
my
start
God.
asking some questions now because
Yeah.
now I'm fascinated by this.
I think you
He
should
lives in
petition the
garage.
court. I think you should petition the court. The 4 years is 4 years. You should do the right thing. Get him obligated. Establish paternity, because if it's not legally established, if something happened to you, it'd be open season. I mean, he's on the birth certificate, but he's never had paternity legally established. So I would definitely file a complaint to establish paternity and a motion to establish child support.
And then he'll quit his job, as she said.
Well, then you could then he'll spend, instead of spending nights above your garage, he'll spend them in the Mahoning County Jail.
Sounds to me like a lot of these guys don't care.
You know what, Ron? You would think that until they spend a week or two in jail. Trust me. I've been to the jail to interview people. It's not a pleasant place. And after you've been there 3, 4, 5 days, you're looking for a way to get out, and you're willing to pay just about anything or anybody.
Or you get COVID like
Listen to
David.
me, DeVecchio.
That-
Do not go to the jail because David always gets COVID.
Yeah,
there, and I
you
want
get
to
COVID
stay
like
healthy.
David.
Oh, no, I stopped. When COVID happened, I stopped going to the jail.
There was a caller a couple ago who, wanted the accounting, and, like sometimes like me will pay like the health care and food and everything. And so the father's money would go towards something of mine because I've spent all my money on the child. But he said, what if the kid shows up with holes in her shoes? Well, that dad would have to realize that just because they pay child support doesn't mean that's the only thing they have to pay for their kid. They could still get some extra shoes.
Well, they can, but they're not legally obligated. They're legally obligated
Yeah,
once there's a
correct.
court order to pay child support. They're obligated to pay child support.
Maybe I should do
They're
accounting
not
in my house.
obligated to pay anything over and above that unless you go to court and get a court to order that they're to split expenses, that they're to pay half the extracurriculars, that they're to pay half the school costs. I mean, but that's why you go to court, to figure out what you could count on and what you can't.
Wow.
We'll do that.
All right.
Good luck.
to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I mean, that's really something. He lives in the garage and he doesn't have a relationship with the child who's 14 who lives on the same property. It's hard to imagine, isn't it?
You know what? It's not that hard because when you've been doing this as long as I have, you hear the most bizarre things you could ever imagine. That's not even shocking. That doesn't even register with me.
That's like out of a bad comedy movie. Like it's
Right.
like it's Will Ferrell.
The
living
dad
in
above the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your son. Why wouldn't you have a relationship with him? You're right there.
Well,
I
it
mean,
goes
that's
back to what I
just-
said before. Some people are just not good people. They're not. I mean, if you made a child and you could care less about what you're bringing into this earth and what you're going to create by not having any relationship and not guiding and not educating and not trying to turn him into or her into a productive adult, then that's on you. Anything that they get into down the road is on you. If you show no interest. I'm not.
Right.
There are good parents. And sometimes things happen and they do their best, but you know, some things you just can't account for. But the ones that do nothing, you know, those are the ones I have a problem with.
I'm curious, Melfi, as we go on with today's broadcast, do you sit there and say to yourself, that's why I don't do a lot of family law with the firm after you hear what Mark goes through on a daily basis?
Yes, my grandfather quit doing family work because he got hives up and down his legs and he quit. He said, I'm done. He had like 100 open domestic,
out,
never
right?
again. I mean, the holes in the shoes. I mean, I buy Jimmy shoes every 5 weeks now. His feet are growing. I'll give them to you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll donate them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you're on the air with our attorneys tonight. Hello there.
Hi, I have a question on real estate. My dad had already passed away. I'm 71. The mother had already passed. Dad had already passed away, and the mother passed away 2.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is on survey land. We had the farm of 120 acres, and the road just happens to divide at 60 and 60.
Okay.
So my brother and I agreed that I would take the 60 on the other side and 10 on this side, and he can have all the farm buildings and the house and the 50 acres that go with it. So the question is, on the other side, in 2012, it was surveyed so his boy could have some land on the house side, land to build his house and his property.
Okay.
Now they're telling me, because we're dividing the property between me and my brother, now that mom's
Have to have
died.
it surveyed again.
Yeah, why do we know where the stakes are? Nothing's changed.
Well, I mean, it's not a problem until no, it's not a problem until one of you guys goes to sell it or one of you passes away. And then, I mean, how do you transfer it? Because it's never been divided. So it will stay one plot.
We're not selling it.
Okay.
I told you what.
Hang on a
we
second.
agreed.
And just hang on. He has to have it parceled off.
Right.
Right, Mark?
Yes, absolutely.
This is your part parceled off. This is your brother's
This is
part,
not a
this
deal
the
for a
part his
handshake.
son.
Yeah. And then, I mean,
This has to be paper.
say for instance, I mean, God forbid, one of you predeceases the other. Well, it's the last man standing that takes it all.
120.
So that person's beneficiaries get the benefit of 120 acres, and yours may get nothing if you predecease him. That's why you need to parcel it off and put it in your name, and then you could do whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah, this is going to go bad fast.
Yes.
That's not my question.
What is
I
your-
agree with you. But the 60 acres, all right, I already surveyed the 10 acres on the other side, and he'll have to survey the 50 acres with the house and property, redo that. The other side, the road, so the 60 acres on the other side is already staked from the neighbor up to the road. Then you got from the road to the other neighbor. That's already was staked off in 2012.
So you don't want to get it resurveyed.
So that part of it was staked off.
Or they divide it into parcels, though? Do they have each individual parcel
I do
numbers?
that myself. I know where the stakes are. Why do I have to pay him $2,000?
He doesn't want to pay.
And he said, "Well, I just did that in 2012
Well,
for your brother."
I would think that you have to have them all issued independent parcel numbers. They all have to have different parcel numbers. And I don't think you could do that by yourself.
Yeah, no.
No.
Well, I
Sometimes,
can measure it, and somebody could do the paperwork in the office.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's going to
gotta
sign
find
off on
out.
your measurements, because they're
No
liable
shot.
for that. Yeah, you got to hire somebody
Listen to what these attorneys are telling you. To avoid future complications, spend the $2,000 now, because it could be a nightmare if you don't. Okay? Listen to what
I
they're
understand.
saying to you. Don't argue with
understand
them.
what you're saying.
They're trying to say, follow the rules so that you don't have
He
future.
doesn't want to pay
headaches.
the $2,000
The
for the new
brother and I
survey.
agreed,
Doesn't,
and I agree
know.
with the last
Okay.
survey guy,
All
Baker
right.
survey. I
I
agree.
can't go any further. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's nothing you're gonna worry about in your lifetime. It's if you have beneficiaries, if you want to, this land can't transfer. You really don't have any value on your portion because you can't sell it. You can't do anything with it. You can't borrow on it. You can't do anything. So
All right.
2,000 is worth it.
We wrap it up. Thank you, Attorney Mark DeVecchio, Attorney James.
Thanks,
Howell from
Ron.
The Legal
Thanks,
Show, brought to you
Ron.
by
You're the
Beaver
best.
Craft. Have a great night. Appreciate it, buddy.
Great job, guys.
Recorded.